Lavish.
For those of you who don't know me, I would describe my photography journey as mostly self-taught. You know, YouTube videos, blogs, just anything I could get my hands on to make my photography just a little bit better. But I didn't come from nothing. I had an incredible art teacher. He was a painter, and he gave me a lot of great gems of advice. And two of them, I swear to God, I use in my photography every week. And I'm hoping that since they're aimed at painters, this advice can help you, and it's new to you, and you can find it helpful in your workflow. So without further ado, let's get into it. Tip number 1 is actually super easy. All you're gonna do is, in the event that the color white is really prominent in your photo anywhere, like a t-shirt or the clouds up in the sky, it's a really common occurrence to have the color white in your photos. All you wanna do is, in that white channel, pump a little bit of blue, and it's gonna make that color look way more clean, crisp, and neutral, just like an actor's teeth. This was initially taught to me for mixing palettes up on the thing for painting, but I use this on almost every photo on the Photoshop side of things, kind of towards the end when I'm really dialing in the colors. Super easy to accomplish. All you're gonna do is, in Photoshop, open up Selective Color, go to white, go towards the bottom where it's yellow, and go into the negative color, which is gonna pump blues into that white, giving you your desired effect. Normally I'm anywhere between like -20 and -80, depending on the photo. You seem pretty smart. I trust you to use your best judgment. Here's a photo. Here's a photo. It's pretty useful, but it's really best in conjunction with a bunch of other edits. Why would you need to do this? 1, you might have really screwed your white balance. It happens to the best of us, but this can sometimes help recover certain photos when you really screwed the pooch. Number 2, color casting. Super common occurrence. Look, I am no scientist, but I can tell you that light loves to bounce off of stuff, and it really can make the colors kind of mucky depending on where you're shooting photos. Perfect example would be, you're shooting photos of a girl in a white dress, like in the red Utah desert. The chances that the light bouncing off of the ground is going to throw a little bit of red-orange onto that dress is almost 100%. Really helps to just throw something in there to kind of keep that white looking clean, crisp, and neutral. This is a trick I use almost all the time, so I hope it helps you. But on to the next. Tip number 2 is actually super situational, but I'm telling you, when this one works, it works. All you're going to do is, if you have a photo where you're trying to create depth, you want to put a little bit of warmth into your foreground and put a little bit of coolness into your background. And if it's a photo with a lot of depth already, it's really going to drive that fact home. This is not great for if your photo was flat to begin with. It's not going to make something out of nothing, but it takes what's there and really exaggerates it really well. This is pretty easy to accomplish. You just want to use the photo filter edit, and usually I'm dropping that opacity down to like 5% max. Use it how you like, but that's less is more for me in this instance. And I'm just gonna do a mask, and I'm gonna paint it in where I need it, and I'm gonna leave it where I don't. This one, I don't use every time, but I'd probably use it on about a once a week basis. And it really just helps me get that photo where I want, like, you know, crazy depth. Really drives it home. So I hope that one can work for you as well.
I love music.
Not a tip, but last thing I want to say, just play a little devil's advocate against myself. These tips are not rules. Use them if they're helpful, disregard them if they're not. Like, if you're shooting a photo style that's like really warm, obviously a clean, crisp white's not going to make sense. Or, you know, obviously sometimes, like, you have a photo of a blue car in the foreground behind a sunset, doesn't make sense to make that super warm and that super cool. That's the thing about, as a photographer, as an artist, you should always do what you want to do with your work. But in your photo journey, I hope these can be useful to you if you ever need to make a piece and this helps you say what you need to say. Thanks for watching, and I really appreciate it. If you really like this and want to see more, hit subscribe. See you in the future. Peace.